Hi guys, John with Community Strength Austin here. Today I'm going to show you how to do a really good hip opening drill to get enough flexibility through the hamstrings and the glutes to get into a really good full depth squat without that butt wink. So the butt wink is when that pelvis tucks underneath when we're doing a squat. We don't quite have enough mobility through those hips and through those glutes. So I'm going to show you how to help fix that today with this wall opening drill. So to get into it, we're going to get the hips close to the wall, facing sideways, turn, lie on our back, and then get into a good position. So essentially the same position that we would be in if we were in a full depth squat. So in this way, my back is flat, so I can't really compensate by having those hips come off the ground. If I do, I'm going to really feel it a lot more than I normally would. So from this position, what I'm going to do, now that my feet are set as if they were in a full depth squat, I'm going to drive one foot into the ground and then lift with the other one. So what I'm doing here is I'm activating these muscles on the backside of my left leg, which then causes a cross extensor reflex in the opposite muscle group. So in this case, my hip flexors on the opposite side here, which then forces my glutes and hamstrings on that side to loosen up. So we're tricking the nervous system into allowing us to reset that tension and increase our range of motion. Big thing here, try and think about dropping those hips to the ground. You're probably going to want to peel that tailbone off of the floor in order to get into that butt wink position. So try and resist that. Really think, feel those hips sit into the ground, drive for about 3 seconds, drive the opposite knee as high as you can, and then repeat. As we start to get a little bit more flexible, we're going to have to get closer to the wall. I've already got pretty decent flexibility in this range. So for me, even pretty close to the wall, I'm still able to do it, but I'm actively driving this one foot to the ground, through the wall, and then lifting this other knee to improve that mobility while keeping that low back on the ground. This should help to increase your hip mobility and decrease the chance of that butt wink at the bottom of your squat. I'm going to show you another hip opener. So this one's going to be to open up those adductors or those inner thigh muscles that oftentimes are very tight on people and prevent us from getting those knees into a good position at the bottom of the squat, and generally just tend to get a little bit overactivated from sitting all day. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the hips close to the wall. We're going to flip onto our back, feet go up onto the wall, and then I'm going to be trying to get these knees out as far as they can go while still keeping good pressure through the big toe on both feet and the heel. So this middle part of my foot is staying glued to the wall as I drive my knees out. You might get a little bit of cramping in the arch of your foot. That's totally normal. We want to just try and avoid rolling to the edge of the foot because that's not going to be as similar of a position as what we're trying to replicate during the deep squat. So from here, we can do a couple of things. One of my favorite things is to do some PNF stretching, so contract, relax stretching, to open up these hips. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have my hands on the side of my knees. I'm going to drive into my hands with my knees for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to release. I should be able to go a little bit further, again, keeping that midline of the foot flat on the wall. And then from here, I like to cross my hands and then put pressure into my knees as I try and contract into them. So now we're activating that adductor group. And then when we relax, again, trying to drive the knees into the outside part of my hand so that we're activating those hip abductors. So this is going to allow for us to reset the tension through those muscles, through the muscle spindles and those Golgi tendon organs, to increase that mobility through those inner thighs and hopefully improve our squat mechanics and our range of motion through the hips.